We want to make sure that the police department is responsive to the community. What does that mean? I thought it meant that you wanted to have officers that represented the racial demographics of the given area that they are patrolling. And in the case of New York, in the case of LA, mission accomplished. You're still complaining. What else? Anytime a police shoots somebody, we want the feds to investigate. That's pretty much what's done now automatically anyway. What else? What? We want the police to be trained in different tactics so that this knee that was used on Mr. Floyd is not used again. Okay, fair enough. A, what does it have to do with race? And B, if you don't want the police to resort to those kinds of restraints, if a suspect, in their view, is resisting, then what do you recommend? And whatever you recommend, will that recommendation not also have a downside? Is the goal nirvana? Is the goal that you don't want black criminals prosecuted? Because if that's really what you're saying, that there are, quote, too many black people behind bars, you hear this word over and over again, warehousing of blacks. If that is your objection, then say so. And we'll just cut them loose, starting in your neighborhood. I'm trying to figure out what the demands are. Now, I know I have a lot of people on the left who listen to my show because you think I'm fair, and I appreciate that. My phone number is 888-971-7243, 888-971-SAGE. Call me and tell me specifically what the demand is. I know what the demands were in the 50s and the 60s. Wanted the right to vote. Wanted the right to sit anywhere you wanted to sit in a restaurant, on a bus. The right to be hired. The right to be hired where we shop. Virtually every Fortune 500 company now has a diversity consultant or an outreach consultant or somebody with some sort of name like that to ensure that the company is being fair by minorities. So I want to know what the demand is. It's now 2020. We had a back-to-back black president, back-to-back black secretaries of state under George W. Bush, back-to-back attorneys general under Barack Obama. During the 8 years of Obama, he also often talked about investigating various departments for possible civil rights abuses. He's made that claim regarding the Baltimore PD after Freddie Gray died, yet no civil rights charges were filed against any of the officers, the 6 officers that were initially charged in the death of Freddie Gray. None. The Obama administration said they were going to investigate the killing of Tamir Rice for possible civil rights charges against the officer that killed this 12-year-old who was twirling a plastic replica gun with the tip removed that was supposed to be put on there by law in order to distinguish between a plastic gun and a non-plastic gun. That tip had been removed. Cop shot him. The Obama administration said they were going to investigate whether or not the cop had violated Tamir Rice's civil rights. Nothing was done. Eric Gardner is the man who was selling loosies. And why the police felt that they needed to deal with somebody selling loosies has more to do with the finances of the city and the taxes that they were losing by people selling cigarettes like that, so the city doesn't get its taxes to pay all these outside pensions. That's why he was stopped in the first place. We're not even having a discussion about that. He was brought down with a hold that some describe as a chokehold. Some say it's an unlawful chokehold. In any case, big display of investigating the officers involved on charges of depriving Eric Gardner of civil rights. Nothing happened. Nothing happened with Freddie Gray. Nothing happened with Sandra Bland. That's the woman in Texas who had some sort of altercation, got arrested for some relatively minor traffic offense that escalated because it went back and forth with the officers, and officer got ticked off and put her in jail, and she hanged herself in jail. At least that's what the authorities said. That appears to be what happened. And the Obama administration said they were going to investigate, find out whether or not any civil rights violations had occurred, and if so, nothing happened. You know why nothing happened? It wasn't because Obama and his AGs didn't want something to happen. You don't think Eric Holder and Loretta Lynch would not have gone after a police department if they felt they had ample grounds? Of course they would have. They didn't have the grounds because it's not true. There are individual police officers who misbehave, who engage in misconduct, sometimes deadly misconduct, as happened in the case of George Floyd. These are individual officers. The Minneapolis Police Department did not kill him. The 800,000 police officers in the United States did not kill him. And it's not like police public contact has not been surveyed. Every 3 years, a police public contact survey asks over 60,000 Americans about their interactions with cops to find out whether there's any sort of pattern of abuse or misconduct or excessive use of deadly force. Nothing. It's not there. And the downside is you're getting people killed because cops are going to pull back. Criminals are going to be emboldened. It's going to make things worse for the very people that the Black Lives Matter proponents claim that they care about. I'm Larry Elder.
Larry Elder.